But do you think the ability for the animals to suffer, does it change based on where the animal is placed? Like whether they're in a community where it's illegal or where it's legal?
No, I don't think the ability changes.
Yeah.
I think it's how you treat the animal is what it comes down to. Whether or not that it's what the end game is, I think that.
Do you think it's fair to kill even just like one more animal if you personally don't need to? Do you think it's fair to them?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. We are live on YouTube, or our sign's a little bit covered. Maybe we can do that really quick.
Live on YouTube?
You don't have to. You can be off camera if you'd like.
I'd rather do it off.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or not? Or what's the topic?
We're going to talk about animals. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, at least my back's kind of to it. Okay.
That's cool.
So the first question is, how do you feel about animals? You're off camera here.
Animals are great.
Yeah.
I love animals.
Do you have any companions at home?
No, not at the moment, but I grew up with a dog and a cat.
With your time that you grew up with the dog and cat, what did you learn about like their ability to feel?
I definitely noticed that, yeah, animals probably have the ability to feel. They probably can express emotion in their own way.
Would you say the dogs and cats that like you grew up with, did they have a personality?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they had the ability to suffer?
Yeah, I mean, I think in our definition of suffering, I think there's probably the equivalent of that, whether or not they consciously think of it as that, sure, an animal could be comfortable or uncomfortable to different degrees.
They might not understand it completely, but they probably do suffer in their own way, right?
Totally.
Do you think there's a difference between a dog and, say, a fish or a pig in their ability to suffer?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on.
What's your gut feeling?
Well, I don't know. I think like you take a. I would want to know how animals, because like we're really in tune with how humans feel, how our let's say nerve endings work, or mentally we interpret different things,
right?
Relative to something else. But I don't know how that works for animals.
Right, but you do think the dogs can suffer because they have the brain and the central nervous system and pain receptors. I wonder, do you think that like a fish or a pig, do they have those same properties?
I don't know. And like if you took a fish out of water, would they be suffering, or would it just be?
What do you think? So they're in the water where they have their gills where they can absorb oxygen.
Yeah.
And then they're taken out of the water, and now their gills can't absorb it.
I think
they can't get oxygen.
I think
What
they'd
do you
be
think?
suffering according to our definition of it.
Right.
I don't know about the fish definition, but from our definition, totally.
The fish's definition. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, like, if they didn't know that was suffering, they may not think it was.
Well, they might not think of the word suffering, but they know it's a negative experience.
Totally.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything that humans need from other animals for like entertainment, clothing, or food in 2026, or do we have alternatives?
Entertainment. Well, I think entertainment for sure. I think companionship is a big deal for pets and animals. And I think a pet, especially, could provide a form of entertainment that people really rely on.
What do you think about maybe a different setting, because like with companion animals, it's kind of a mutual relationship. We're trying to care for them, and we both get something out of it. But what about like a zoo or a rodeo where we're kind of holding animals captive?
Yeah, I think zoos are kind of sus in ways. Like you go to the zoo and you see like the tiger in like a big pen.
It's sad, right?
And it's like, bummer, bro. You lost out. You don't get to be in like the the savannah.
Do you think when we have like an opportunity to watch a nature documentary instead, do you think that's a better alternative? Should we choose to watch the nature documentary rather than go to the zoo?
I don't think so. I think the fortune of that tiger at the zoo is definitely not as good as one in the wild. I hope that the medical care, like the veterinary care that a tiger would get in the zoo, the education opportunities that we would get to study how to ensure tigers are healthy gives us an opportunity to help tigers everywhere. And if that tiger gets a bad deal and almost has to sacrifice his freedom so that we can learn more about tigers in a way that will help others, maybe that's just my way of putting a silver lining on it.
I wonder if you found out there was a practice where tigers were actually being killed when they weren't seen as desirable models in the zoo. For instance, if they became real old, the zoo might decide a young cat will bring in much more of an audience. If you found out that was actually a systemic practice at zoos, that they were discarding the animals who weren't as profitable for them, do you think that would be fair? Or would that change your mind on whether you should choose the nature documentary over the zoo?
Yeah, probably. I'd be curious if there's I'm sure there's zoo best practices that are informal, and then I'm curious if there's zoo licensing or accreditation that kind of establishes that type of stuff. I'd hope in this country that's less prevalent.
Yeah,
but
it does happen systemically, kind of worldwide, actually.
Yeah.
When we're seeing animals as kind of objects to look at.
Yeah, like the Thailand elephant riding farms. You go to one of those and you see these sad elephants, and you're like, "Yep, this is not a place I should be spending my money."
Right, because you have an alternative. You can probably walk on your own feet or rent a car or something.
Right.
I wonder. Gotta run soon.
Last question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Last question is: how many animals would you prefer are exploited for you in the future?
Well, I think that exploited, 0. I think the
Do you think going vegan would be close to that goal, or would get you closest to that goal?
Not for me. I think food supply is different from entertainment treatment, like what you were talking about for zoos.
Do you think we have other options in 2026 with food?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the what's it called, agriculture, and then finding proteins in bugs or algae that could be mass produced a lot cheaper, both for just the market but also more sustainably. Because
I wonder, do you think that there are affordable options on the market today, like this farmer's market at grocery stores, Winco's, in general? Do you think it's necessary for us to use animals for food today in 2026?
I think it's still necessary. I want to see.
What do you think is that we need from them, specifically?
I think we just have too many people needing too much protein. I don't think the non-animal food supply is enough to feed, the billions of people who need it. But I hope that.
Do you think there's enough protein, for you personally, when you live in Portland? Or I'm assuming, but in the Portland area.
No, I don't think there is. But what I want to see is more plant-based or natural or non-animal proteins come to market that are not the burger thing, whatever it's called. It doesn't need to mimic meat, animal protein, but products that are appealing and priced in a way that make people be turns it in, kind of like electric cars, turns it into a natural choice, not a deliberate one. And if
you
it's
found
affordable
out that
enough for everyone,
it was possible for you to get all the protein that you needed. Maybe you go home and it's flashing across the news headlines, and it's all humans, the human body can survive and thrive on a plant-only diet. Do you think it would be more in line with your values, knowing that you believe animals suffer, to spare them from exploitation and killing? If you didn't need to, would it be in line with who you are?
I think I would. I don't think it would change my.
If you didn't need to.
Diet, I don't think it would change things big time, but it would definitely be a lot. It wouldn't change it entirely, but those other options would definitely be much more common.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder
it wouldn't be black and white though.
Would you change, in a hypothetical world where we were eating dogs, for instance, do you think it would be justified to continue eating them if we had an alternative?
I don't think so. I've been exposed to dog cuisine in China, and I think that's.
Do you think it's fair to the dogs?
No, I think that's from a different era and culture that I think.
I wonder what's the difference in your eyes between the dog and the pig, for instance.
I think a pig isn't domesticated. a pig is a commodity.
Well, pigs have been domesticated, right? Because they were in the wild, and then we selectively bred them to make them docile and to use them
as pets. Like a pig is a.
Would it be any more justified to exploit or use a stray dog who wasn't somebody's companion? Or if somebody decided to breed them?
I don't think that would be any more justified.
So why is it justified for the pig? I wonder what the difference is between the animals.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think because in our culture, a pig is definitely in the food category, and a dog is not. I think in other cultures that might be different.
Do you think it's fair to the pig if we have other options to use them and kill them?
I don't personify the pig's feeling in that way.
Well, it's not fair for the dog. You said it wasn't fair for the dog.
Right, because in our culture we personify the dog as a companion, as a pet, and that doesn't extend to the animals that are.
If I personally wanted to start a dog farm here in Portland, is this something that you would support with your money?
No.
But you would support the pig farm. So I'm just wondering, in your mind, within your own value system, what the difference is between the animals.
Yeah, so the difference is that a dog is a domesticated companion that...
Well, this is a label kind of that you place on them. I'm asking more about the difference within the dog or within the pig.
I see what you're saying.
That makes it justified to use and kill the pig, but not the dog. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a difference.
Do you think it's fair if we continue using pigs and these other animals if there's no difference between them and the dog, when it's unfair for the dog?
Well...
When they both suffer, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I don't know if they both suffer in the same way, because you can go into how you euthanize an animal before eating them. It can be
they're not
less
euthanized,
traumatic,
right?
or
because that's what we do with dogs, kind of with an injection or something.
Yeah.
But these animals, they go to the slaughterhouse, right? The other animals do. They have a knife that meets their throat. It's not out of their best interest because they became old or something, right? It's because we wanted to eat them or something.
Yeah, I think. I think it's. Yeah, I don't know the answer.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's fair for the pig if you don't need to?
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to treat a pig in a mean way, but I think we can still.
Do you think it's mean to cut their head off
food.
if we don't need to?
No, I think if it's done in a humane way, I think it's okay to eat pigs and to kill them for.
Would you support my humane dog farm that I'm starting up in Portland? Hypothetically,
of
course I wouldn't do
hear
that,
you,
right?
I hear you.
Just to test your own principles.
No, not for dogs, because
Why?
dogs aren't a traditional food where we come from.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it acceptable for, let's say, in a few years it becomes traditional to use dogs? Is it then acceptable to kill them, even though the dog suffers and wants to live?
I think if we were in a culture that dogs were a traditional food and they did it humanely, then it would be okay in that culture.
It would be okay to use and kill dogs.
If it was, in using the humane example. Yeah, I think.
So do you think the ability?
Discussion.
But do you think the ability for the animals to suffer, does it change based on where the animal is placed, whether they're in a community where it's illegal or where it's legal?
No, I don't think the ability changes.
Yeah.
I think it's how you treat the animal is what it comes down to. Whether or not that it's what the end game is, I think that.
Do you think it's fair to kill even just one more animal if you personally don't need to? Do you think it's fair to them?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's putting a human version of fairness on an animal.
Well, but it's not fair for the dog, and dogs are non-human animals as well. Right?
Yeah, around here. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta go, but hey, thank you. This is a great
Can I leave you a card that might leave you with some resources?
And, I appreciate what you guys are doing. This is posing questions like this is important for people to think about.
I think so too. Well, thank you for this conversation.
I enjoyed our convo.
Let's see. My hands are a little cold. I'm shaking.
No worries.
So Dominion is what we're encouraging people to watch right here. It just shows the standard practices. It's not super cruel moments. It's just what happens in the factory farms and slaughterhouses. Okay. So even if you want to support the local farms who are more humane, quote unquote, it'll show you the same slaughterhouse footage that they go to as well.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
hey, thanks again, man.
Yeah. Have a great day. Thank you.
I hope you get a lot of other people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Have a good one.